If you think the season ended ugly already, tonight on the 305 Gridiron, we're breaking down a 38-10 beatdown in Foxborough, and trust me, we're going to be fired up. So you better be fired up because we went out with barely a whistle. Welcome back to the 305 Gridiron, and that's right, I put up a comment before the intro even finished because it's exactly how the rest of us feel too.
Yep.
It's insane, Josh. It's insane. How many times do we have to see this story? 4 years, 4 beatdowns in the final week of the season, and yet somehow the coach's job was not immediately tendered goodbye at the end of the fourth quarter. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And it's frustrating because I feel like there's potential on this team in some areas, and all it needs is and pardon the saying, it just needs the right captain. And Mike McDaniel ain't it. I'm sure he's going to go on, if he gets let go, which I fucking hope to God he does. He'll go on to be a great offensive coordinator for a few years, and he'll probably get another head coaching job, which I believe is he'll actually probably be better. I do. Maybe. But I'm getting real fucking you know what? No, not pardon my French. I don't give a shit anymore. This is it. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, this dude shouldn't be a head coach. No. He does not have the wherewithal and the capabilities upstairs to be a head coach. I'm not saying he won't get there. I'm not saying he can't get there, but he just doesn't have it. And the fact that we're hearing that he's going to be here next year and he's going to be part of, the GM searches. And I read a report a little while ago saying that that's just him grandstanding, trying to make a last ditch effort and to try to, push himself deeper into the organization so that if he's let go, the organization has pressure and blah, 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 blah. Just, it wouldn't be a problem if Ross fucking let him go like the other teams did their shitty head coaches.
I mean, I watched him this morning. We're in our group chat, of course, as always. And maybe we'll make that more of we'll talk about next year at the end of the show, but maybe we'll look to make some sort of chat that we can talk with all of you as well.
Absolutely.
But we're in our group chat this morning, as always, as we're watching the names come across the do. Here's another firing. Is it us? No.
God, no.
God, is it us? Oh God, is it us? No. And this happened over and over and over and over again, all freaking morning, firing after firing after firing, and not a single one from the Dolphins front office. And it's like, what the hell have you seen from this guy that makes you think he could be a good head coach? And now the excuses are, well, he just needs a new GM and a new quarterback. Motherfucker, he's the reason you paid this quarterback $150 million because he went to bat for him. Would you have paid him $150 million if the coach was like, nah, fuck this guy, he sucks? No, you wouldn't have.
Well, not for nothing. He was brought in for the sole purpose to work with Tua. Tua's not going to be here anymore. So why the fuck is he going to hang around? What, to your point, what has he shown us to give us any sort of confidence to think that this dude is going to turn it around next year? We have a historical point differential in the third quarter this year. Historically bad. We have meltdown after meltdown. I don't give a shit about the fucking 6 wins out of 7 or 6 out of 8 or whatever the fuck.
So many meltdowns, dude.
We were playing shit fucking teams that are drafting ahead of us. But when the rubber meets the road and we needed a victory or we needed the team to even come out and look competent, we get we get the game that we're about to talk about week in and week out. And you can't blame it on the quarterback because fucking Tua wasn't in there.
We beat one playoff team all year. And that was, I still don't know what happened in that Bills game. I don't know if the Bills just forgot to show up. If truly we were correct and the team switched jerseys, no idea. No idea what happened in that Bills game.
Were we at home that game?
We were at home.
Yeah, so we probably put something in the water.
We were 2-7 at the time of that game.
Yeah.
Coming off of getting blasted by the Ravens 28-6 on national prime time Thursday night football.
Yeah, what kills me the most is that we talk about all these notifications that keep popping up, the ESPN notifications about who's, and we get them all the time. And then I finally get the one where I see Miami Dolphins, and it's the organization is going to keep Mike McDaniel next year. It's like, of course we are.
It makes no sense. I mean, look at the meltdowns over the 4 years. I've said this to you a billion times. In 2022, we actually did win in the final week of the year. We beat the lowly Jets.
Ooh.
One of their worst seasons. 11-6, we beat them.
Yeah, go team.
We had 5 straight losses before that game, in which we were 8-3, and then we lost 5 straight to go to 8-8, and then we beat the Jets to finish above 500. Is that supposed to make me happy? In 2023, to win the division, we faced the Buffalo Bills week 17, I think it still was at this time. To win the division, we lose 21-14. Lose the division. Should have won it weeks prior to that. The same year we lost to the Titans on Monday Night Football to Will Levis. 2024, again, for a shot to make the playoffs, sure, we needed help. We didn't control our own destiny. But for a shot to make the playoffs, you have to beat the New York Jets in 2024. We lose 32-20. We give up 32 points to the Jets, bro. And then in 2025, with a chance to add an embarrassing loss to the Patriots season, who are 13-3 coming into town. We're going into their town. They're feeling high and mighty. They're playing their starters. They're going to beat up on the Dolphins and hopefully get a first-round pick. And we keep it close. We keep it close for as long as we could.
Until halftime.
And then the third quarter happens.
Yep.
Then the third quarter happens. We lose this game 38-10. It was 17-10 at halftime. We lost 38-10.
And it should have been 17-17.
Right.
If we're not, I know we'll talk about it later, but
that, or it should have been 14-10 at halftime if the defense doesn't let the Patriots go 2 plays to get into field goal range and kick a 59-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Everything about this team is absolutely fucking embarrassing. And the worst cherry on top of this shit Sunday is that we can't seem to figure out how to fire people properly.
It's insanity to me. I don't understand why it's so fucking complicated. I don't get it. If I did what the equivalent of what this coaching staff has done this year in my job, there would be no ifs, ands, or buts about if I'm working there next year. You know what I mean?
Sub 500 after 4 years.
It's crazy.
I don't like what do we? I just don't like. And I've spent so much time trying to find the what's the
Silver
reasoning?
lining.
Yeah. What? Maybe there's a reason they keep him here. Maybe he's really motivational. I can't fucking imagine he's motivational. I can imagine there's a lot of veterans in that locker room who can't stand it whenever he opens his mouth. Because I can't stand it whenever he opens his mouth.
I can't either. And I have heard that he's different off camera than he is but I mean,
I don't believe that.
It seems like that's who he is.
Yeah.
If I really strained and really pushed, I could find a handful of reasons why I think he's going to stay. Not why I hope he stays, not why I want him to stay, but why I could, if I were to put myself in Ross's shoes, why I could come up with a reason if I had to. But none of them are good enough for me to voice on the podcast because I don't believe them.
But even if he does do a handful of things, that doesn't counter the 2 handfuls of things he sucks at.
More than that, buddy.
Right.
Way more than that. Here it is. This is what I was looking for, Jorge. I was trying to filibuster while I was looking for it. Yep. This is a joke to me.
How and then somehow now we don't know if he's going to stay for reals. I know I saw that Jorge says the owner confirmed. I haven't seen the owner confirm that yet.
I haven't either, and I've actually seen a report that says the complete opposite of that. So, and like from a trusted source.
My hope and my dream is that they want to let the GM make the decision. As I don't think that's the right choice, by the way. I think you go in and you fire the damn man and you start fresh. just
you
like
let
the
the
Atlanta
GM pick
Falcons
its
just
guy.
did.
Yeah.
The Falcons finished the season on a hot streak, and they still fired their staff because it wasn't good enough. And here we are. I can't wait for the letter that comes out for Stephen Ross again this year about status quo. Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Super pumped.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, it doesn't make sense. All joking aside, all anger aside, like just at its root, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Ross is a smart guy. He's a billionaire for a reason. He knows how to make the right business decision. This is a business decision that makes zero sense to me. This is not none of the decisions in the NFL when it comes to staffing or whether you are on the team or off the team should be emotional. They should all be brass tacks, bottom dollar. What have you done for me lately? You've done jack shit for me lately. I'll go find somebody that can, because I'll tell you what, there are a handful of coaches, not a handful. There are 3 coaches out there right now that I would gladly take over Mike McDaniel today.
This idea too, that he's going to do better with a different quarterback is laughable. Tua has been hurt for half of his career. He's had lots of different quarterbacks.
Once he's chosen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He chose to stick with Skylar Thompson that one year.
He chose Tyler Huntley. He chose to bring in Tyler Huntley. Who was the other guy? Not Tim Boyle. Was it Tim Boyle?
Mike White.
Who was the old guy with Huntley that year?
There was like 6 quarterbacks.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
He
chose Zach Wilson this year. They paid him a pretty penny to be the backup. And then Zach Wilson hasn't played a lick of football because they gave it to Quinn Ewers instead.
And he drafted Quinn Ewers because, look, what do we know about Chris Greer?
He does whatever the coach wants.
So you're telling me that, I mean, like, there's your fucking answer.
Right.
You fired Greer because he wouldn't make the hard decisions because he deferred too much.
And this isn't an anti-Quinn show. Nope. I think he's done some good things, but he went 1-2 with Quinn in the final 3 games of the year. If you're looking for let's get our pinch of magic fairy dust. He went 1-2 and he barely beat a Tampa team that was reeling. Absolutely reeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This is
this right here. This is why it's so
I was
confusing.
Literally about to pop this up.
This is why it's so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
The results aren't there.
Yeah. There's one. So, they say when something happens more than once, it's no longer an outlier, right? It's the norm. But in his entire coaching career here in Miami, his head coaching career in Miami, there is one outlier, and it's the 2023 season.
Right.
Everything else is what we're used to and what we're seeing this year. So that makes that the norm.
And what did we have in 2023? Josh, remind me.
What do you mean?
The easiest strength of schedule in the league.
We were number 2, ranked number 2 all year.
2023 was a joke, an outlier. You had a gimmicky offense that worked because it was gimmicky. The next year, every defense in the league shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
The year after that, this year, every team in the league shut it down. Except for the shit teams that are drafting above you.
I feel like for as great as that 2023 season was to be a Miami Dolphins fan, it was the worst thing. Oh, shit, sorry. It was the worst thing that happened to this team because, at least in my opinion, what I think Ross is doing is he's holding on to see what happens when everything lines up.
Yeah.
He's proven he can do it. No, he hasn't. He's proven you time fucking after time that he can't do this shit.
We were not a playoff team in 2023. Look at the teams that we got smashed by. They were all playoff teams. Buffalo beat us 48-20. Philadelphia beat us 31-17. Kansas City 21-14. Baltimore 56-19. And then Buffalo again 21-14. We lost all 5 games against playoff opponents that year.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost 28-27 to Tennessee, where we would have locked up the division if we had won that game.
Yep.
But we couldn't. We couldn't beat.
I mean, here's what I associate with the Miami Dolphins in the 4.5 years or however long Mike McDaniel's 4 years that he's been here.
This is end of year 4. Yeah.
End of year 4. Can't beat teams that are good. Can't beat teams in cold weather.
Nope.
Can't beat teams in prime time.
Nope.
Can't keep anyone healthy.
Nope.
Can't draft players, and I know that was on Greer, but we all know that Mike McDaniel had a say in all of the players that he got.
Yep.
Can't choose a quarterback. Can't build an offensive line. Can't scheme, change schemes on the fly when things aren't going well, and he can't win in the third quarter.
Can't build anything. Can't beat physical teams.
Can't beat most teams.
We just look at the roster, man. And we're gonna do roster grades on Wednesday, right? We're gonna do, or I'm sorry, the next few weeks. And Wednesday we're gonna do our end of season show, end of season recap.
End of season recap. It's gonna be fun, guys. You should join it. It's gonna be real positive.
It will be better than this show.
It will be. Yeah. No, I was half joking, but there are some positives.
But like, the talent hasn't been built up, right? Like, a good head coach takes the talent that he's given and builds them up, and his staff builds them up. It's not just him, obviously. He has a good staff, and they build them up. And we barely have any players on this team worth talking about from the last few drafts. One of them we traded to Philadelphia, who is thriving there now, which I still agree with that trade, but insane.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do a quick GM update before we move into the actual details of this game, as little as we want to do that. I think 16 minutes of bitching is enough.
That's go for not even close to enough.
We'll go for the record next time. So the GM search is up and running. We have reached out to close to a dozen candidates at this point.
Heavy hitters.
The ones, the names I have in front of me: Los Angeles Rams assistant GM John McKay, Philadelphia Eagles assistant GM Alec Hallaby, a favorite of ours here on the show. Green Bay Packers VP of Player Personnel John Eric Sullivan. I don't know much about this guy, but I've heard good things from Tom Grassi, who is a huge Packers fan on YouTube. So I'm excited about that. San Francisco 49ers Director of Scouting and Football Operations Josh Williams, who seems to be heavily linked to the team. And then San Francisco 49ers VP of Player Personnel Tariq Ahmad, who doesn't seem to have as much connection.
No, but I mean, yeah, I from what I understand, here are a couple things that I know / understand. Both of the 49ers folks, so Josh Williams and Tariq Ahmad, were what's the guy's name that we brought in? I can't remember. John Elway. Is it Elway? Aikman. Troy Aikman. Sorry. With that, we brought Troy Aikman in for. He brought those two names to the list for interviews. John Eric Sullivan is a roster construction guy. That's what he's known for, right? Alec Hallaby is my favorite guy. I believe he's yours as well, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
He is definitely. I don't know much about the other guys yet, but he's my early favorite. Yeah.
Yep, he's kind of the cap creativity blend of analysis. He's good at like the analysis thing. He's worked in an Eagles organization for however almost 20 years. Knows what he's doing. He knows how to build a team, and apparently Tariq Ahmad is really good at building rosters and building teams. So all I know is that we have some really solid, like some genuinely amazing options that we're interviewing for. Whether or not we choose the correct one, in air quotes, that's TBD. However, it's going to be interesting. You know, I'm excited to see how this shakes out. There's 3 or 4 names that I'll be happy with no matter who they are.
Here's the good news. There's only 2 teams that need a GM.
Yes.
The Falcons and the Dolphins, as it stands right now on January 5th, 2026.
Yeah.
So, pick of the litter. You can pick whoever you want. The options are endless. Literally anybody out there who has been in player personnel for any meaningful amount of time is going to want to be a GM. So, go do your due diligence, man. Don't just this is the thing I have with them is that these names have been linked for ages, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Pittsburgh didn't find Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin and all of their success by going with just the names that are linked, right? Like, you have to go and do some digging. And too often, to me, it just feels like our unit is reading the latest NFL.com article to get their like list, right? It's like, guys,
ChatGPT, who's the best GM for Miami? Okay, we'll take that guy.
Of course, we're being tongue-in-cheek, and I'm sure some people in the comments will be like, "You guys are idiots." That's fine. We are, but
absolutely. You know, I'm a huge fan of Hallaby. I genuinely hope we get Hallaby.
What I love is that they all come from successful teams. Like the list right here, it's all successful teams. So they have seen successful rosters built.
I'd quit podcasting if I saw something come up saying interviewing former Jets general manager.
What was one of the teams was linked to us, and thankfully it didn't come out on the official list, but early on before the end of the season, like one of the shit teams was linked to like their VP of player personnel. Why the hell would I want him? He hasn't built anything. Tennessee. You're right, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's who I want.
Yeah, hard pass. Thank you.
All right, dude, let's get into the takeaways for the Dolphins' 38-10 blowout against the New England Patriots. It wasn't a good game for us, to put it lightly. A small recap. We were only down 14-10 going into the half, and then we lit up two huge plays, and we let them score a field goal to end the half, 17-10 at halftime, before not scoring a single goddamn point the rest of the game and losing 38-10. Consistency on offense has been an absolute issue all season long. It hasn't changed because Quinn Ewers is in the game. He went 16 for 23 for 137 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. I don't get it, man. What is going on with the offense? This was like supposed to be this coach's bread and butter, but when you watch these games, and specifically when you watch this game, they were good for like 2 drives.
Yeah.
And then it disappeared.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of players missing time. Right? I mean, our top 2 offensive weapons were out. Our handsomely paid starting right tackle who missed most of the year, who came back and actually made an impact, is now out again. There were injuries throughout. I mean, I don't mean to keep blaming it on injuries, but you have a rookie quarterback. You have players that are kind of like, all right, dude, like, season's over. And I don't know. I think it's a lot to ask any team to go in against a team like the Patriots, which fucking I taste like vinegar to say out loud, who dominate in every phase of the game. They're great in special teams. They're great on defense, and they're great on offense. And they have a hell of a fucking quarterback in Drake May. And we couldn't stop anything. I mean, the first drive of the game, they ran it 4 times for 86 yards or whatever it was in a touchdown. Yeah. I mean, as soon as that happened, I texted you and I said, this game's over. Because if that's how this defense is going to come out, I get it. It was cold. It was at night. It was away. The season's over. We had injuries. Guys, fucking, you guys are making millions and millions of dollars to go play a fucking sport. How about you show up and do your goddamn job? I don't understand why it's so complicated. Now, I get it. I'm not a football player. I don't know what goes into it. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, well aware. But what I do know is what I can see on the field. And what I do know is that this defense was fucking atrocious.
Really bad. Remember, Ramondre Stevenson looked like a freaking Barry Sanders out there. That's a bad comp.
That's fucking, yeah. No. Anyways, I'm going to quickly move on before that gets clipped. So, really, Anthony, that's the frustrating part, right? Is that the consistency isn't there. They show you flashes. You see it in spurts, and you see it on a couple plays a drive. Jesus, that's disgusting. And then it just kind of evaporates into thin air, and they go back to what, the play calling goes back to shit. The players start playing like crap all of a sudden. But zooming out, how much of this do you put on execution versus play calling once kind of you saw the adjustments that they made?
Yeah, I don't know if play calling had much to do with it in this one. I think the coaches do deserve a considerable amount of blame for a lack of preparation, as has been all year long when coming out at halftime. I forget what the score was, 137-25 in the third quarter, something like that. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. But the execution sucked. I mean, we were playing well in the first half, and the quarterback was making plays, the running back was making plays, the offensive line wasn't completely just collapsing at the point of attack. And then the second half, it was complete opposite. What's his name, Barmore or whatever, absolutely was owning the offensive line. You had offensive linemen on their asses consistently throughout the second half. Quinn Ewers was running for his damn life because there's nobody blocking, nobody getting open. The Taj Washington was our best receiver. Wow, who saw that coming?
And Malik Washington, didn't he get injured? Did he get injured that game? I thought he got
If
injured.
he didn't, he was invisible.
Yeah, Taj Washington looked good.
Theo Weiss Jr. had some plays. Taj Washington had some plays. Dolchik was the star of the show, however much that gets you when you're getting.
I mean, let's be honest. We just talked about 6 fucking names. All of them were on the practice squad. That's what
none of them are playing on any other roster.
Right. That's what legitimately on our practice squad at some point this year. That's who we trotted out because of injury and because of that's the decision they made. Yeah. And yes, there were some bright spots. I thought Dolchich, to your point, phenomenal. Yeah. Right. I want us to re-sign him immediately.
I would have rather seen more Ollie than more Jalen, to be honest.
Same.
Jalen loses a critical fumble in this game.
Yep.
He looks really like he just reverted back to like if there's not a hole there where he's supposed to run, he has no vision to find one. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't, at the point of attack, he just gets clobbered. His legs get taken out right from under him. He's got no push, no power.
No, he has horrible vision. And that's dating back to Tennessee. Right.
Yeah.
But I assumed, being the fan that I was of him, not Tennessee, I assumed that a NFL coaching staff would help teach him vision, because what kills me is he's fast as shit. But when he hits the edge, he looks like Alec Ingold out there, which that's not a slight on Ingold. Ingold's just not fast,
right?
Right. And it's insanity to me. I don't understand how he jumped Ollie Gordon in the pecking order.
Me either.
I don't understand. There's another fucking
coaching
head scratcher, right? But yeah, no, it was just pathetic. It really was. This whole game was a shit show, and it was towards the end. I found myself selfishly rooting that they would just run the score up on us, because I thought it would prompt a coaching change immediately. Little did I know that's all you need to save your job. Yeah, I
know. I mean, the one game where like Ollie was actually given 10 carries. He had 10 carries one time this year. He had 4.6 yards per carry, ran for 46 yards, had a catch for 20 and a touchdown.
Yep.
Apparently that production wasn't enough to continue to see the rock, especially in a final game where we played so many young guys. Like, why not give your rookie? Every other rookie was playing. What give you?
Yeah, and for everything Cole Strange is, I know what he's not.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's move on to takeaway number 2. Yeah. Dude, we never controlled the game script. It was absolute just insanity. It was bigger than just like one unit. It was bigger than just the offensive line sucking or the wide receivers not being able to get separation or the defense just completely collapsing. Like, sure, we kept it close early, but we were never really in charge of the game, right? Like, we never looked at this game and I was like, yeah, we could actually upset them. Not at any point in this game did I feel that way. And I just kind of wondering, like, what were your feelings on it throughout? Because, like, to me, I didn't for 1 second think we were going to have an upset in this game.
No.
Even when we were making it close in the first.
No, I was shocked that we kept it close in the first half.
Yeah. Me too.
I had us losing by a large margin. If you go watch the preview show.
Yeah. And we did lose by a large margin.
We sure did.
It took a while.
I don't remember what my score was, but I'm pretty sure I think it was close. Even if we had all of our weapons, Waller, Achane, Jalen Waddle, Austin Jackson, I don't know if this would have been closer, right? Because I think Achane totally changes the game.
Yeah.
But we couldn't stop anything. So it wouldn't matter, because this team is not built the way it is currently constructed to put up a shitload of points. We have to have the defense slow the opposing offense down so that we can keep it close. And we weren't stopping shit. Might as well have not even gone out there.
Yeah.
It
sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked. It started to be such downers, guys, but this game,
it was horrible.
You want to at least see some fight in your team.
Dude, this is a fucking divisional game against the Patriots, a team that dominated this division in the AFC for 2 decades and then had 2 or 3 years in purgatory before they're back again. And you can't even show up. It's infuriating to me.
And props to the offense, because the offense was a bunch of nobodies just being thrown out there to the Wolves.
Yeah.
Like, I do not blame much on the offense for this game, despite them kind of just falling off the face of the earth. The defense had majority of its starters, though. We're just missing Chop. So, like, what happened out there?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I guess on that note, and from your perspective, what's the root issue here? Is it coaching, roster construction, both? I mean,
I think the roster's trash. I know that you and I disagree on some of the positions and some of the players, but I just think there's not a lot of talent on this team. And I felt that way for a while now. I feel like we haven't had talent on this team that can compete for a Super Bowl, I want to specify. Because, listen, that's my metric every year. I'm not, as a fan, what other metric should you have? I'm not going into a season going, boy, I hope we finish 8-9 this year. That's just stupid. I want my team to go to the Super Bowl every single year, no matter how unrealistic that is.
Mhm.
And I can't remember ever having a team that was built enough to do it, talent-wise. Like, I think Brian Flores was probably given the best chance. They gave him a lot of talent. And now that we see like what Mike did with Greer, I got to give Flores props because I have to imagine he was the voice in the ear of Greer asking for a lot of those players. But since then, we've traded away most of those players that came in during that era. And now we just have a skeleton crew, which is wild because we haven't won anything. This is usually something you get after you're successful and you win a few and the guys go and collect money elsewhere. We haven't had any of that.
Yeah, I think what the iteration of this team is done. This current iteration of the team.
Yeah.
We had a young core early on. Then when we had a lot of draft capital, decent amount of cap space, a rookie quarterback in Tua. And I feel like in year 2 of Mike, when certain players became available, they got insanely excited and didn't think about kind of like, let's go get Tyreek Hill. Let's go get Jalen Ramsey. Let's go get Chubb. Let's go get Bradley Chubb. I don't care. Yeah, take all of our first-round picks, all of our second-round picks. We don't need to fuck it.
That's the problem. They traded away all the core pieces for these big names because it's Miami.
Well, you can't fucking do that, though. Like, that's what kills me. That's what kills me, is that we weren't winning a Super Bowl with that roster. I mean, we had a roster good enough to win a playoff game, which we didn't do.
No.
I think we weren't anywhere near being a Super Bowl contender, but I think that roster was good enough to win a playoff game. But you don't push all your chips in for good enough.
Right.
I
just feel like we've been chasing average for so long. It's just like, man, when are you going to chase success? Because like we're just constantly grasping at straws and haven't been able to figure anything out. It's just so wild. And yeah, I think I would agree here. I think this is the second worst loss. The Cleveland game was freaking. I mean, it's hard to think back that far, but we got destroyed by an offense that can barely score more than we can.
Yep, that was fun. Yeah, that Cleveland game was bad, dude. That Cleveland game is up there with the Tennessee loss from a few years ago.
Yeah, one of the worst of all time.
Before we get to 3, another point of conversation, I guess, and it is, this team, to your point about being okay with mediocrity, for lack of a better term, I'm paraphrasing what you said, doesn't seem willing to make the hard choices. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm not talking I'm not necessarily in this moment talking about, okay, just fire your fucking coach or bench your fucking quarterback. I'm talking about the harsh reality of this team is bad. We need to rip it down to the studs. We need to burn the shit to the ground. We need to wipe the slate clean. We need to bleach it and get it ready for the next iteration with an entire new staff and new players, new everything. We don't do that. I've never seen them do that. I've never seen us rip it down to the studs. We half-ass it. We double Dutch. It's like, all right, we're going to fire the GM. We're going to keep the head coach. We're going to fire the head coach.
Rebuild, they call it, right?
Yeah. We're going to fire the head coach. We're going to keep the GM. We're going to fire the GM or the head coach and the defensive coordinator, but we're going to keep the offensive coordinator and the GM. We're going to bench
happening as long as I can remember. Can you remember before we've done this?
That's what I'm telling you. It's never happened.
Remember.
Not that I can pull off the top of my head.
I think Parcells and Sperano was the last time we ripped it down.
We didn't even rip it down to the studs because we kept the defensive coordinator. Oh. And I know that that's such a small piece in the thing.
But it's still something. Yeah, that's still.
You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. I don't understand. I get that it sucks. As an owner, especially Ross, who's a genuine fan. I've watched interviews. He loves the Miami Dolphins. He loves the Miami and he loves the Dolphins. He's been a Dolphins fan his whole life. He doesn't want to see anything but greatness. I get it. But at some point, you have to take your medicine, suck for a few years, and build the foundation of this team properly. Because if it didn't work, jackhammer that shit down to the dirt and try again. These soft rebuilds are just keeping cancer and problems and mold and just decay within the organization, and we're just building on top of it until it falls all down in our face, and it's disgusting.
The one guy, and I know he had other problems, and I did not want to keep him because I felt like it was time to move on for him too. But the one guy who at least had the propensity to cut ties when it was time to cut ties was Brian Flores. He wanted to get rid of Tua, right? He wanted to make that change. He didn't stand for other guys who he didn't think were living up to his expectations. And at the time, it felt wrong, and I think the way he handled it was very wrong. He did not handle it properly. But in the depth of it, behind closed door, behind like the way he handled it, the idea was correct. The idea that you have a standard and guys who don't live up to the standard don't stay. And we don't have a standard here. Like, I think about the teams who have been successful recently, and you think about the Eagles have been very successful recently, the Rams, the Lions, the Chiefs have all been
Bills.
Like the Bills. They have all kept throwing darts at quarterback until they found the right one, right? And we refuse to do it. We will hold on and even pay a quarterback who doesn't look that good. Instead of being like, I don't actually think he's the guy. Like, he's good, but he's not like great. And going and getting like all of those teams, right? The Eagles had Carson Wentz, and they were like, he's okay, but he's not great. We're gonna draft Jalen Hurts, right?
Shit, they went to the Super Bowl with Minshew, and they still got rid of Minshew the next year.
Right. The Rams had Jared Goff, and they were like, Jared Goff is okay, but he's not great. We need to go get Matthew Stafford. They win a Super Bowl the next year. The Chiefs had Alex Smith, who, again, was good, but he wasn't great. So they go and they draft Patrick Mahomes. Like, this is the problem with the team. We are okay with good, and we never chase great.
Yeah, mediocrity is our love language.
Fucking nuts. Let's move on to number 3. Defense showed spurts, but it couldn't sustain, my dude.
Yep.
I don't even know if they showed spurts. Oh, they did have some turnovers, and they had some good plays.
A couple good fourth down stops, right? We didn't do anything with them, but
they absolutely just broke apart in the second half. 21 unanswered, just fell apart in the second half, as we've come accustomed to. Where do you think things really fell apart?
Communication and lack of talent. I mean, you're out Minkah Fitzpatrick, who every game that he is out, you see his value, because Ashton Davis, for everything he is, there's a lot that he isn't, and he's not a starting caliber safety in this league. If Fatu Melifonwu, same thing. Yeah. Although I don't know if did he play in this game?
Me too. Embarrassingly so.
Oh, okay. There you go. I guess me asking that question was kind of, there you go. Chubb didn't show up. Our linebackers, Dotson was fucking atrocious. I mean, like one of the worst linebacking play that I've seen.
And we've seen that from him a few times this year.
And this is the worst one, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
Jordan Brooks did some good stuff, but it's only one person.
Yeah.
Zach Sealer had a couple really good plays, the blocked field goal, he had a sack. But that's it. None of the young guys on defense showed up. Jason Marshall Jr. looked okay. I mean, that's being generous.
I mean, he played okay in the first half. Everybody played okay in the first half.
It's
and
just
then fell apart.
I don't know what happens in that locker room. I don't know, because it's two different teams.
And I know we're talking defense here, but Abel reminds me it wasn't all defense in the second half. We had the right fumble, right? We had a turnover on downs. We gave the ball back. We had Jake Bailey, who has been a rock for us all year until he's playing his former team, kick the ball out at the 44-yard line.
He shanked a 26-yard punt and a 33-yard punt, I think is what it was.
Back to back. Yeah. Back to back.
That's the Jake Bailey we know, baby.
He just put them right in position to score more.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was they were playing too much because we were giving the ball away so much, and because there was a lot of 3 and outs. But there isn't. You're right. There isn't, and in this game more than any game this year. And I genuinely mean this. I'm not caught in the moment.
Yeah.
This game more than any game this year, you saw how bad the secondary, like it was noticeably like, holy shit, there is a talent deficiency in that room.
And
we know
the
it.
running backs. None of the Patriots wide receivers did much.
No, but I mean, like, all season there was, this room is bad, but Rasul Douglas showed out. This room is bad, but holy shit, Jason Marshall got an interception. This room is bad, but this game, it was like, this room is bad, period.
Yeah. It's funny because you've talked about this a few times about Weaver dropping Brooks and Dotson back into coverage, and it's not their strength, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
The teams that know that, the teams that identify that before the game and then attack it do so well. Ramondre was just like...
He was doing whatever he wanted.
Every single play. If Drake May got a slight amount of pressure, dump off to Ramondre. Here he goes, 25 yards later.
Yeah.
Like... It was like May was toying with us a lot of the time. It was like, in my back pocket, I know I have a running back who's going to smoke their linebackers if I can't get it deep to one of my guys.
Dude.
Every play.
And hey, worst case scenario, I can scramble for 9 yards.
Yeah.
9 yards a clip.
Yeah. Yeah, their leading receiver was Hunter Henry, 5 for 56. They didn't really need to throw it. Because Stevenson had 131 on the ground. Henderson had 53. Drake May had 41. They had 243 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess my question is, do you think that this is a talent issue? Do you think this is a fatigue issue? Do you think this is a bigger identity problem? I mean, those are really kind of the questions that I keep coming up with.
I mean, we don't have an identity, but because we don't have any talent to have an identity, you need to have talent.
Now, again, to those in the chat and to those watching now or later or whatever, we have. I personally, I don't know where you sit. We haven't talked about it purposely. We're not talking about it ahead of the of Wednesday's show. I think there are foundational pieces on this defense. Not many, not many at all. I have 4 names, and 5 if we bring Minka back. That I think are foundation, like pieces, either foundational or like really good starters. But I mean, that's 4 of 11. That is not a good number. You know what I mean? Like that is.
I mean, at this point, I'm identifying one, and that's only because he's a rookie 13th overall pick in Kenneth Grant.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if he's a foundational piece, but I hope he is because we just drafted him 13th overall.
Yeah.
We say we hit up the chat here because these boys are still here despite the season being over once again for the Miami Dolphins, despite getting shellacked by the Patriots 38-10. And we got Jorge, Abel, and True Blazer. And I saw Blake in here before, but I am sure he tuned out by now. He's a hit and run.
Kosa popped in.
Kosa popped in. He hit a hit and run. Kosa's done with this team. Just give it a few weeks, Kosa. You'll be back, buddy. We all will be. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Seriously. Anybody who's watching this too, after the fact, after this horrific season, after everything that happened in this Patriots game, you're still tuning into the show. We appreciate you. We're up to 125 subscribers, by the way, which means we're only 25 away. And we have a little over a month to get there. So it's getting tight. A month and 6 days to get to 150 subscribers. It's going to be close. We have spurts. Thank you all who have subscribed recently, because one day Josh and I were just kind of talking, and I was like, "Oh shit, we gained 6 subs last night."
Yeah, that's great, man.
You guys are nuts. I don't know why everybody
I'm telling you, tell your friends, because if we hit the milestone, we have a great fucking giveaway. Promise you.
It's going to be a great one. It's gonna be, I hope we do hit it. We have a lot of off-season content prepared for you, so we'll get into that next week. Why would Minka... Yeah, go, Josh, because I don't agree at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a few things, right? For me, it's the eye test, right? You saw what the back end of this defense was with him being the key communicator with getting everyone aligned where they needed to be. And you saw what they weren't, or what they were rather, when he wasn't in there. And he can, the fact that he is very capable still at playing most positions in the secondary at a high level is key when you're building and again, this is all through the lens of ripping this shit down to the studs, keeping a handful of players and building the squad. Having a player that can slot in at strong safety, slot in at free safety, slot it in the nickel, slot it in the slot, play sub linebacker if you need him in the nickel. is huge. He's a sure tackler. He still has he's lost a little bit of speed, but he's still fast enough to make plays. And his IQ is off the fucking charts. He's the smart, in my opinion. I think he's the smartest guy on the defensive side of the ball, and it's not even close. Do I think he's worth what he's going to be asking for? Absolutely not. Would I like to keep him? Absolutely, because I do think having a veteran on the back end of the defense as a safety net is huge. If we're going to be building this up with younger players, these kind of people and these kind of players are key for younger player development, but also for sustaining a quasi difference or defense rather to be competitive. I mean, look, we want to rip this thing down to studs, but we still want to see a competitive team.
This is kind of where I sit too. I love Minkah. I wish we never traded him in the first place. I'm glad that he's back. I hope that he decides to stay. But if you're pitching to Minkah Fitzpatrick that you're keeping Mike McDaniel here, and you're tearing it down to help build a better roster why would he want to stay for that? He's a free agent. He doesn't have to stay. he could just go and play for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't think we're keeping him. I want us to keep him. I don't think he resigns, if I'm being honest.
No, and I think that's the thing. It's like I am on the fence as to whether or not he's a foundational piece, but I love the person. I love the guy. I would love to see him retire a Dolphin just out of pure
nostalgia.
But if I'm him, I'm not choosing to stay here.
No.
You could just go right up. What is or west? You could go right west to Tampa or right north I-95 to Jacksonville, and both are in better positions to help you win than Miami if you wanted to stay in Florida. So.
Sad but true, man. Sad but true.
Jacksonville out of nowhere wins 13 games. What year is this?
Well, they have a hell of a fucking defense, and Trevor Lawrence finally fucking figured it out.
That's the other thing about keeping MMD, and I'm not going to keep harping on this because we're about to close out the show. But Liam Cohen, 1 season in Jacksonville, 13 wins. Okay, they know he's the guy. Ben Johnson in Chicago, right? What do they have? 12 wins. Okay, they know he's the guy. MMD's never had 12 wins.
But what's the common denominator here? They have a fucking quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. I was a Tua guy. I was a very staunch Tua supporter. And I still like the human being. This has nothing to do with the human being. But he's not the fucking guy.
I'm sorry. They both built up those quarterbacks. Those are two teams with quarterbacks that were very much on the hot seat before the season started. Yeah. And look what a little coaching did.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Little good coaching, I should say.
Coaching and roster construction.
It's a thing of beauty. All right, boys. We're not doing legends and letdowns tonight because truthfully, who the hell cares?
All I wrote, for those of you can't see it, but we have a...
Yeah, Josh just wrote nope.
I just wrote nope.
I'm
good. I'm good. Thanks. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep it moving.
Fantastic. All right. We will be back on Wednesday, by the way, just to kind of give you our schedule going forward. We're going to do our 2025 season recap. That'll be our last live show for a few weeks. And Josh and I are going to record our grades, our position grades. We're going to record it not live, and we're going to launch it over the next 3 weeks. We will be back live starting our free agency content. I don't know what the date is exactly, Josh, but it's kind of around where our goal was for subscribers. It's towards the end of January. We'll be back with live shows, and we'll be talking free agency, coaching search, GM search. I'm sure all that stuff has happened. Now, we will have breaking news live shows as stuff happens, though. So, we will probably see you sooner than later.
Yeah, so hit the little notey, the little bell icon, and get notified when we pop up a live show, because we'll always pre-schedule them.
Yeah, so essentially our live shows are just going to be breaking news shows for the next 3 weeks. And there will be other content. Essentially, our positional grades will be coming out 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So look forward to that. The next 3 weeks, you'll have content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then we'll dive back into our typical live shows. The schedule will be a little bit different because it's the off season, but we can cover that when we get to it.
Yep. So you'll see us live on Wednesday, and then you'll see us recorded for a couple of weeks after that. 2025
season. And during that time, we'll really love your support, but we also understand if you need a freaking break, because we need a freaking break.
If you want to pop in and say hi or comment, we look at every comment. We try to respond to as many of them as we can. If we hit our goal while we are in that off season or the kind of 3-week window, we will definitely go live. We'll do a live
breaking news thing for that.
A live drawing
Yep.
and do the live giveaway. So
also, this 3 weeks kind of gives us time to plan out our off season, what our show is going to look like, any changes we want to make. This was our first season as a show, so there's a lot of things to look back on and assess. From it gets, if you've ever done a channel, Jorge, you've been doing a channel, it gets so granular to like which titles perform the best. That's how granular it gets with this shit.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
We'll be looking at a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And please, we've said it a million times on the show. We appreciate and we really kind of look forward to getting feedback. It's all constructive, no matter how negative you guys want to be about it or positive you want to be about it. Any kind of feedback you guys have for us. Hey, we really like this, but hey, you know what? We weren't really big fans of this. Let us know. We'll make the changes because we do this for you. We're not doing it for us.
Appreciate that, Abel. It's so funny because the shorts end up bringing in most of the negative comments because they only see 30 seconds of us. So I have been accused of being angry lately. I appreciate that. I am pretty angry. I'm a Dolphins fan.
I mean, fuck, after this season, I'm pretty angry too, brother.
Pretty friggin' angry. And then the shorts from this episode are not going to help that, by the way.
This is really nice, Abel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, Jorge knows. He knows.
Oh, he knows. Yep.
Jorge, that freaking logo, I know we've mentioned it before. It's so
sick.
Sweet.
It's so sick.
We're going to have to go update ours to kind of compete here now.
Hey, I worked hard on that fucking logo, damn it.
Yo, our logo looks great, but I feel inadequate compared to Jorge's now.
I always feel inadequate next to Jorge. That's why I won't go on a show. Okay.
All right, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Monday night. Happy New Year if we haven't said that already, because I don't think I have. But yeah, so we'll be back on Wednesday with our season recap and then a little bit of a hiatus for our live shows, but we will be back with breaking news during that time, so we'll still see you. For Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, over here to my left, I'm Anthony Pinzone. This has been another episode of the 305 Gridiron. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Wednesday, fins up, baby.